One Piece chapter review, chapter 962, the Daimyo and his retainers. So we're still looking at the origin story of Oden and pretty much his big come up. And this pretty much summarized how he took control of the land of Kuri. So I kind of liked it. It showed like a brief little description of like all like the main kids pretty much. And like even at the end of the chapter, we're gonna get into the start of like the big cat boss and the big dog boss. So I don't know, it's a little interesting. Not like super popping, but it piqued my interest a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was interesting, at least seeing how, seeing the red scabbards before, when they were much younger and so forth,
Right.
even though we still haven't seen Kawamatsu yet, unless he's like a random lizard crawling around on the floor or some shit. But it's good at least seeing where they started off at and seeing why they actually fucked with Oden so hard. It just doesn't make much sense to me that everybody's following him just because he beat their ass or whatever. I'm guessing he must have did something spectacular while he was smacking them across the head that made them say, you know what? I fucks with this man hard.
I mean, in any other series, I would like think more into it, but it's One Piece, so I'm not like going too deep into it. It probably is like, oh wow, this nigga's strong. Like, I'm gonna follow your ass. Like, I mean, like Ace went to kill Whitebeard and ended up following him. I mean, it's
True.
People. That's just how this shit works. Like they like get they didn't get infatuated with the person and then just start following them.
Man.
But for Ashura Doji, I mean, I think it's because he beat him, yeah, like because of him, he just beat his ass. But everyone else, I don't know, they may be in love, shit.
I mean, Oden had the sauce, bro. I mean, like this kid was doing like redonkulous stuff before he was even a teenager. I mean, like what? This kid had a whole harem at like how old? Like 12?
Something like that.
But then again, I don't know if that's just true, right? Because like we see that like they kind of paint narratives about him also,
Yep. Yeah, some of the shit was most likely big news stuff. They changed it up or whatever to make it seem more dramatic than it actually was.
Oh, that's the new verb. Can you big news something?
Hell yeah.
Exaggerate
that shit.
Remember, we started that shit on this podcast.
We did the big news.
Nigga, you big news. Shut up. But I also found it kind of weird that he has some little kids as his retainers. Like they're actually gonna throw hands for him or some shit. So I don't know. He must have been training them on the side or something.
I mean, I don't think that's the case. I think Oden just got all the smoke by himself that he literally it don't matter. Like he could just drop it by himself, I feel like that's just what it is.
He don't even want them to fight. Like when he went to Kuri,
right?
He didn't even tell them. He just like went in that bitch and murked niggas, and then that was it.
Right.
But I mean, I think he's like Luffy in there, where like if he likes someone, he just like fuck with them, like whether they kids, adults, like animals. He don't really care,
It's facts though.
Yeah, you're right. So, I mean, low key, those kids are probably still stronger than Usopp anyway. So,
ooh, damn, don't sleep on Usopp, bro. I don't know. I mean, he got that sight hockey, bro. I mean, like maybe not like literally the hands themselves, but homie could snipe a kid from like how far was that when homie took out what's her face with the grapes? Like that had to be like what? At least maybe like a mile, like no joke.
And then they'll just block that shit. Think.
Wow. He said dink. Patty. Watch, Usopp gonna keep up with the come up, man. Don't sleep.
We'll be waiting. You got 5 years.
Oh, I was gonna ask, did y'all recognize all the figures when they actually had like the like shaded picture of the Rocks Pirates?
Nope.
Okay. Because okay, at least I'm not alone. It's like I obviously recognize Whitebeard. You got Kaido in the background, but even like the person right next to Whitebeard, I don't even know. Like, y'all know who that is?
No, we
I
don't. We
know
don't know
that.
what it
I
is.
know that. I know one of them is supposed to be Shiki. One is supposed to be Kaido. One is Whitebeard, and then one of them is most likely one of the people that they referenced a number of chapters ago when they were talking about
Yeah,
all of
like
the big man folks.
Captain John, or
Yeah,
there's a few other people they said, but we just don't know. I mean, we will eventually, whenever they give us
I
a
think
flashback to the actual
I
fight.
just assume we might have known just because like they actually showed the face of like the
Nah,
one in
he
the
looks like
front. Like
Cavendish, but no.
low key, does kind of look like Cavendish. I mean,
I mean, if one of those people would turn out to be the lurking legend that we've been hearing about all this damn time, bring it on. Because instead of wondering and fucking guessing, oh, it might be this person, it might be this person, oh, it might be
What
me.
What do you mean looking legend? What's that?
Remember they had like an OBS some number of months ago and said that there was like a lurking legend that we're going to find out about over in Oden. I mean, over in Wano, quote unquote lurking legend.
I mean, I
Shit, they
did
probably was
check
talking about
out.
Odin.
I
Oh,
mean, I
like that
was
nigga still
looking
alive or
at.
something.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I can
Well, not
support him being
alive, but
alive.
I don't know.
I
No,
can
I
support
think
him being
I think he's
alive.
dead. Because if he was alive, he would have tried to like square up with Kaido.
Hmm. Maybe. Well, I mean, like mother effers be plotting though. You never know.
Yeah, I think there's just I think he's alive, but there's just something that's stopping him from being able to come back and throw hands with everybody.
Hmm.
Because given how big this war is supposed to be, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes through from like some other land with a bunch of people saying, "Let's do this
Right.
shit."
You think he can beat Kaido?
Odin?
I mean, I was looking at like a couple of news articles too, and when they did like a most recent interview with Oda, there was like a couple reveals. One being that he's planning on like just finishing the whole series within 5 years. That was one.
That's not
Um,
true.
I mean, we'll see, I guess. I mean, if you
No,
think
yeah, I
about
mean,
the story,
I remember when he
well,
said it, and then like I think one of his editors came out and said, "Don't pay too much mind to that," because I mean, because Oda said shit like that many times, where he would be like, "It's 70% done or 80% done," and then that shit go on for 4 more years. So that nigga, he just saying shit at this point.
you might. I'm trying to think like what else was claimed. Two, we're going to be experiencing some like more like heavy losses within the war, but granted, that was like pretty much already assumed anyway. And that the battle between like Luffy, Big Mom, and Kaido will be like nothing we've ever seen. Granted, that's just like just to pretty much bring up the hype.
Yeah,
Um,
they told us that a number of years ago, like it's supposed to be even bigger than what Marine Ford
Marine
was.
Ford was, yeah.
right. Right. And they also said they were going to possibly hint to more reveals regarding the actual One Piece itself, as far as like we might be able to find out like more about what it really is. I think he was hinting towards that in the interview too. So I thought that was interesting.
Oh, okay.
But at least, yeah, those were like pretty much the big points. But yeah, I mean, I'd be curious. I mean, it's not like it's too unbelievable though, as far as like 5 more years, if you really think about it. I mean, like
No,
I could
I don't think
see
that's
it's
possible at
what I'm
all.
trying to
Like, do you like? So when you think about it, right? These arcs,
say.
they
Okay.
be long as fuck to me. Like they be like a couple of years on this each arc.
Yeah,
So
they do.
if so, the only way I can see that happening is if after Wano is like really only one more arc, and that might make sense. If he actually defeats Big Mom and Kaido, then maybe. But I mean, they still got to go to the Giants' place because Usopp still got to do his shit there. I mean, all the shit with Emu, all the shit with the girl say, the shit with Blackbeard, the shit with Kano he got to deal with. That's like a lot for 5 years.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Hey, what if he keep the pacing up? Sure, go ahead.
I mean, like low key, he might be able to round something up with like just literally this in Wano. I mean, think about what's really happening, right? I mean, he's pretty much already put hands on like all the Yonko, and like depending on how they end up Wano, the Yonko could pretty much well, I'm not going to say KO'd, but they could be quote unquote dealt with after Wano. So like the only big hitters left would pretty much be Blackbeard and then the Marines themselves.
Well, I don't see him. I think Kaido might be done after this, but I don't see Big
I'm not
Mom
sure
being
if it's
done.
really going to be 5. I'm just saying that like I can see a possibility where 5 years could make sense.
Yeah.
But only time will tell, I suppose. In any case, it's obviously One Piece. So, I mean, you could expand that 5, you expand that 10, you expand that for 15. The world's just so big that you could do whatever you really want with it. It's pretty much just whatever Oda feels like. But snap. Okay. I also wanted to note that like Orochi is that dirty mother effer, bro. Like this kid, like he stole that money, got that basic looking effing excuse, like, oh, I'm so too scared. Oh my gosh. Like this kid stole this money and being petty as fuck. Like, god damn. It's just I just hate characters like him so hard. Oh my god.
Everybody can't wait for that nigga to get murked.
Pretty
It's
much.
coming too.
Hell yeah.
Annoying as balls. Oh man, but I just want to throw that dirt on him real quick. All right. I mean, that's pretty much all I got. Y'all got any other notes?
Well, I mean, at the end, cat and dog about to pull up.
Right,
They got
right.
washed on the shore.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I was gonna mention that, Grant. It's like they did show Kawamatsu. He's the one who found him, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
What? That missed that
Yeah,
Yeah,
detail?
he's the one. Yep, he's the one that found him.
Like he's the one who said how freaky. Who there for these kids? Like that was Kawamatsu.
I did not see that page then. I
Who?
got hope.
Who?
Oh, okay, okay. That's sweet. Never mind, we good.
Yeah, I think I'm good. All right, as far as a rating, uh I think I think I'm just gonna give this a plain decent. Like just clean decent. It was alright. Could obviously be better, could obviously be worse, not really popping. Gave me like a couple flares here and there in the sense that it's like, all right, it's not completely pointless, but they could have maybe comboed it, but at the same time, it's all right. So decent.
All right, I guess I'll go.
I give it a. Yeah, go ahead.
We do this every time.
All right.
I'm gonna give it a decent as hell minus, just because minus. The only reason, so just like what you were saying, the chapter didn't seem like much, but I did fuck with the with when Oden went against damn what's the name of this nigga?
What, Ashura Doji?
Yeah, when he went against Ashura Doji and his whole crew, and wiped out everybody all by himself, and was sitting there with arrows and all that shit up in his arms and everything, and he's just sitting there like, yeah, okay, I did work. That kind of gave me a little bit of Whitebeard vibes. Little shout out to Whitebeard, may he rest in peace. But it kind of reminded me of that scene when he was, standing there with a bunch of swords and all that shit inside of his body and all that, and he was still
True.
standing.
Yeah.
So I fucked with that scene a little bit. That's why I said decent as hell minus.
I see.
I give it a regular decent. It wasn't bad, but it was just still not anything special to me. One thing I did like is I'm glad we didn't have to sit through chapters of each of the encounters with his like samurai. I would have been kind of annoyed if every chapter was his own thing. So I liked how they did how they did it with him writing in a book and telling the story of how he met everyone, just to speed things up. I wish you would have got a little more information about the Rocks War against the Pirate King. But I guess that'll come down the line. So
Okay.
Do that.